All right, all right. Hello, hello. So right now we are live. We are waiting for a phone call from Jesse and David, and I'm setting up the TikTok right now. Let's go.
This call is now being
Global
recorded.
Talent. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
Cinco. If you're on TikTok, if you guys could let me know if you guys could hear them, if you could hear the call.
Gracias por utilizar Global Talent.
Hello, hello.
Hey, is that Vato James available?
It's right here, man, live and direct, coming to you live and direct from YouTube and TikTok Landia.
Hey, that's cool, man.
What's up? What's up? This is Jesse and Dave touching in on our usual Sunday night slow jam special.
Yeah. It's not, you can do your requests and dedications. Jesse will blow the kiss. We got to keep Art LeBeau's
Legacy
spirit alive.
Yeah. This is Norma from Norco.
This is Vato James from Jericho.
Yeah, I just want to send a shout out to the Wicked Whip from the West.
Uh-huh. Vato James.
That's
my
right.
Vato in Corcoran.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cali Patria.
What's up, though, James? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I can't complain. I had been working for the last few days. So now I'm back to taking a few days off. So I just been chilling, relaxing. There's this new spot around the corner from the house that my lady's been wanting to check out, a Mexican spot. So we stopped by yesterday in the morning to grab some. We grabbed some breakfast, and man, it's a trip because my lady doesn't like any type of chile, any type of spicy food she doesn't mess with. And she ordered some chilaquiles, and she asked the waitress. She was like, "Hey, are they spicy?" And then the girl was like, "Nah, not really." And I was like, "Hey, like, don't do it." I was like, "I know how this is gonna turn out for you. This is gonna turn out like Mexico City, DF." We went out there a few years back, and she loves aguacate, and we got some tacos de canasta, and she ended up putting a gang of avocado on them, and then she bit into it, and man, she was on fire. I was cracking up. So pretty much, when she got her chilaquiles yesterday, that it was a repeat of that. She was like, "Oh man, like I'm not even
Esta
enjoying this."
llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I was like, "Hey, I warned you. I told you it was gonna be all bad for you." But we went back again today, and she ended up, choosing something else. So she got to do a remake, if you will. So, but other than that, everything's been good.
Okay. How was the food there, though, other than being too spicy for her? What do you think? Was it pretty delicious?
Oh man, it was good. Hey, it's really good, man. And that place is packed, man. We went back today, and I guess everybody went after church. We went like around 9, and man, there was a line like practically busting out the door. It was really good, tasty. I got a California burrito with like potato wedges and ham, bacon, cheese. Man, they was like fully loaded. It was busting at the seams pretty much. And when I took my first bite, I was like, "Oh man, this is what's up right here." And it wasn't too expensive, which was the cherry on the top.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good shit.
How you guys been? Have they started moving? Flipping have they flipped the yard yet?
Nah.
March.
Huh?
March?
March, yeah. What's crazy was there was a dude today out there in the visiting room that came out of 4 block,
Yeah.
and they put him into the visiting room.
Yeah, I talked to him about it.
Yeah.
And they only put him in there. Yeah, 4 block is the NDPF for the level 1s.
Yeah.
But they put him out there because he came from SAT-F level 3. So he's a level 3 that's down here for court. And for some reason or another, maybe because he's not designated and the yard is not non-designated yet, they have to leave him over there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but he's still technically a level 3. Yeah,
Okay.
SAT-F, he's on C-Yard in SAT-F right now.
Oh, in the old
Yeah,
180?
yeah. He said he's in the 180 buildings.
Huh.
Yeah, but they even know because I told him, hey, you guys are gonna probably be programming soon. He goes, yeah, I know in March. That's what they told us.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So it's around. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
It is happening, yeah. But other than that, everything. I mean, I don't know about everything. It's been a pretty weird couple of weeks, but you know, we maintain, we navigate the way we know how, and yeah. Other than
It's
that,
hurricane season.
yeah, that's what we like to call it in here. And when I was in YA, it was called funk season. Right here, though, we call it hurricane season.
Now I got this philosophy. I try to break down CGA, right, which is Criminals and Gang Members Anonymous, and we understand that our negative thought process, it's called OCP, which is the O is for the obsession, the C is for the compulsion, and the P is for progression. And it's a cycle that repeats. After you progress, the progression is a full-blown relapse. So this is crazy, like this is how we stay clean, Jesse and I. We have to recognize when we're triggered. A trigger will trigger an obsession. And so something can happen. It could be somebody that's disrespectful on the yard. And there's different types of triggers. There's triggers for drug use. There's triggers for anger. There's triggers for, it could be a number of different things, right? It just depends on what your defects of character are, criminal behavior and stuff like that, right? You could be triggered.
Did you hear that, David?
No, that means that fish layer came in. Is that fish layer?
Nah, my phone was vibrating and then it made its way over to the to the microphone.
I was gonna say, damn, it sounds like you're at the casino playing the market now.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it was my phone, so I just moved it.
Right there.
It's like an earthquake. Is it an earthquake?
Yeah. I said, is that fish layer? Fish layer. No. So
Look at this.
yeah, my boy EJ gets an entrance like that. You know what I mean? That was one of my contract agreements, James. You know that.
Yeah.
Our contract. We're under contract. When fish layer shows up, I need a giant, some sort of an entrance.
Ding.
Yeah. Hey, so
I need a Dukes of Hazzard horn when you.
yeah. Lifespan also. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are the classics.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all the regulars get one of those. Get one of them giant entrances.
We'll do one of these for Fish Lair when he comes in the
the
future.
Yep. So. Yeah. Hey, I think you should make the flipper sound like the dolphin. You know how Flipper the dolphin comes in?
Yeah,
you gotta make a dolphin sound, like something that'd be cool. Hey, so anyway, I tell you about this OCP thing, right? And this is how it happens. This is how you get yourself into a situation and you don't even realize it. So, for instance, right, Jesse and I, we got triggered this week pretty good, but we did all right. We did all right because we're able to recognize it. So somebody did something stupid in here with me, right? And right off the bat, I started to obsess on it. So the action that the person did was the trigger. My mind, the way my mind works, I start thinking about this, and man, I get like a reel, like a film reel playing in my head, right? And it's always the greatest hits, right? It'll be like a like 1980s prison movie shit going through my head, right? Like I got a bag of rice in my hand, like it's all bad,
He's wearing an old Levi Dickie jacket.
Yeah.
With the 12-inch fierro hanging outside the sleeve.
Yeah, one of those.
He's got a beanie on his head. And
Yeah.
a beanie on his pocket.
My face is all pockmarked.
Yeah. Edward James almost. I'm like, damn, Dave, you really aged overnight.
Yeah, one of my legs is wooden. Yeah. So, but anyway, so I got triggered, right? And I started to obsess. On this whole little thing, right? And I was thinking about that. Well, you have to recognize when you're in the obsession because that's when the C comes in, which means that you're going to be compelled to do something about it. And if you're compelled to do something about it, which is kind of like, say, homie, you know what I mean? Like, hey, what was that about? You slide up on them and, you're compelled to take some sort of an action. And unfortunately, that's not the point of no return, but you have to know right then, like, hey, man, you're triggered. You've already been compelled to do something about it. You've taken some sort of an action. That action could lead to the progression of violence, and therefore you're going to be right back where you started from. So that's why it's a circle that goes around, so we call it the hurricane. And you know how, like, when you see the news, James, on the forecast, you see the hurricane, and it's like it's got a trajectory, a path?
Yeah.
You see it starts to you see it starts to spin and stuff like that. Well, that's how it works because that cycle repeats itself over and over again. Boom, you're done with that. Guess what? It's easier next time for you to get triggered. Obviously, you're going to be compelled to take action, and you're going to progress into a full-blown relapse or a change in your behavior, a step in the wrong direction. So you got to recognize that. And we call it hurricane season because a lot of triggers are popping up. A lot of things pop up, and you have to pay attention to that. Okay, well, what's going on with my life right now to where I'm letting a lot of little things get in my head, and I'm feeling compelled to take them on. What is it, So that's why it's important.
Either that or sometimes it's not even a matter of letting things get in our head. It's just a matter of the reality is this is the environment we live in. These are the kind of people we deal with, and so we got to be mindful that even though, we do a pretty good job of navigating this place and, staying away from, what we know is bullshit and bullshit people and stuff like that, sometimes, it's inevitable. It's prison. People are going to come around. You don't get to completely dictate who you're around all the time. So you got a lot of different personalities. You got a lot of different weird shit going on around.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Maybe the moon and the sun ain't aligning properly right now or something because you got people, over the last couple of weeks, like I said, we haven't really had any real issues in months. In prison, you good for one at least every freaking, every so often there's somebody like, oh yeah, in the past it would have triggered you, but now it's like, that's fucked up. Sucks to be that guy, and you keep on pushing. But these kind of situations that have been transpiring over like the last, 2 weeks, it's just like that's why I feel it's the season. I feel that something's going on with in the what is it, astrology or astronomy? Like the signs aren't aligning.
Oh yeah, that's astrology.
Yeah, astrology because it just seems like a lot of people are doing dumb shit around here. And maybe sometimes I don't take it personal. That's the one thing that I think helps us out in that situation is like we don't take it personal. These dudes are doing what they do. This is their house. This isn't my house anymore. These guys are doing what people do in prison. They're acting the way the kind of people prison is built to house people who act like that. And so a lot of
scumbags reign supreme.
Yeah, exactly. The first scumbags reign supreme. And so a lot of people, seem to be, just towing that line on a whole nother level. And it's kind of like, okay. And like how Dave said, a part of us wants to obsess on it for a moment. Like, okay, this dude would have never said that before. Like, this fool doesn't even understand. Like, he can't even But before you allow yourself to start to think those thoughts, you have to stop it. You have to catch it before it becomes an obsession because if you take it personal and you're sitting there and you're like, man, this dude's doing this to me. Like, who the fuck does he think he is? Like, he never would have done that before. He never would have said that before. This wouldn't have happened. And then your only possible next thought is to think, well, why? Why would he not do that? Because before I would have fucking dug his ass out and had to take a helicopter ride out of here. You know what I mean? Before I would have sent that motherfucker home in a box to his mom. You know what I mean? So it's like you start thinking these stupid thoughts, and then it becomes a part of you. And so now you're walking around here a ticking time bomb.
Hey, what does that sound? It's driving me bonkers.
That unfortunately I can't control that sound. It's something with TikTok. I'm not sure. I don't know whether TikTok sound app does that, but yeah, it's coming from over there, and there's no way for me to stop it.
It's probably like message chime-ins or something. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like sometimes
I never heard that.
When people try to join, because people could join into the conversation if they would like. Normally, when I get that message, is that they're trying to come in. They either want to be a guest or they want to be like a co-host. But I'm not getting any notifications right now, so I'm not sure why it keeps on going off.
Oh, yep, there it is. But yeah, so basically, what I was saying is we've had a lot of little situations like that could have been very bad situations, that would have been very bad situations in the past. And it's not even just dealing with other people. It's for me. It's been a lot of little stressors along the way. Like if I don't stay, hypersensitive and hyper mindful of all these different triggers, I mean, I've lost my tablet this week. I've lost. We got a book that's supposed to be here that's put us behind in school. It's prevented us from getting ahead, and we have two rigorous semesters between this one and the next one. We needed this book to give us a jump start. So that that puts another stressor on it. You know what I mean? The whole the thing.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
So if we're not mindful and we're not processing all those things, and you just stuff them down, they could manifest themselves somewhere else. And so it's just a lot of little things, and if we don't care, like David said, if we allow them to ourselves to obsess on them, then ultimately you're going to act. And you may not act on every one of them, but you're bound to act on one of them. And so you gotta grab each one of those situations, and you gotta process them and do away with them, so that way we don't get caught in that hurricane. But right now I'm about to go into the storm cellar.
Yep. No, it's what it is.
You got a call back, I think.
Yep, I'm gonna give you a call back right now, James.
Hey, when you guys call back right now, I'm gonna go ahead and read up some of the questions. We got Chubby Jessica, we got Eric Martinez, we got JD Morales, and we got a few others on the comments. So I want to go ahead and read those off to you when you guys reconnect.
Hey, Chubby Jessica and Eric Martinez, that is the family, that Collect Call family.
All right, now I just saw Miss Vero, Justine, so I'll go ahead and let them know that who's tapped in and who's liking the stream. Anyhow, we had Junior 42, I think he was asking me what am I gonna do if they shut down TikTok? If they shut it down, well, I do run a YouTube channel. I also have an Instagram. I'm not really that active on Instagram, but I do have those accounts. And then I've been looking at the Chinese version of TikTok, which is I think called I can't even pronounce it. It starts with a D. And then there's also another one called Red Note. So those have been popping up on my feed. I downloaded both of those apps today, but it looks like I'm gonna have to do a little working or tinkering around to get around and be able to set up those applications, just because you need to have a Chinese number to be able to open up those accounts. And I heard let me move this. Hold up. Here we go.
This call is now being
Esta es
recorded.
Global Telling. Usted
Oh,
tiene
that's
una
right.
llamada
There's
propagada de
Eliminate. Yep.
David Lopez.
Facebook. I don't have a
un
Facebook, but I guess
individuo
that would be another option.
encarcelado
I could open
en
it up.
de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
All right.
We were saying before you hung up, James, that that we love our regulars. We miss our regulars. We're happy they're here. Thanks for all the support. And that's definitely the Collect Call family.
Yep.
Just so you know, James, I'm doing a public speech Monday or Tuesday on the podcast. I got to do I'm doing oral comms right now for winter semester, and I'm doing my presentation. It's an informative speech. I'm doing my presentation on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk more about that in a little bit.
All right, for sure.
We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Go ahead and
yeah. No, I wanted to give a shout out because Eric Martinez has been on here a lot. Where's Eric Martinez from? He's from up north somewhere.
No, Eric. I think he's from somewhere in LA County.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he's come on a lot, so he's been in here enough to where he is one of the Collect Call families.
I always thought that was Dave's brother.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I have a family member that's his name too.
Oh, okay.
So trip out. No, but Chubby Jessica, she's one of the originals.
Yep.
That is our biggest fan.
Yeah.
So she has the title. But so what else we got?
So we got so Eric Martinez writes, Happy New Year. Hopefully everyone is doing good.
Yep.
And then
Happy New Year. We are doing okay.
We got a comment from JD Morales, and he writes, hello guys.
What's up? How you doing? Still well. Yeah, still well.
And then we also got Miss Vero 559 hitting the like.
Miss Vero was cracking. Yep.
Cracking. What's up, Miss V?
Yep.
$10 always. She's been here with us now.
Yeah.
She's a regular. She's part of the fam.
She is. Yep. It's one.
We got Luz Garcia. We also got Cha-Cha. And let me see. We got there's another one right here. We got Justine Hale. And let me see here. We got Junior 42 and K Backos. And then let me see. Jessica. We got Chubby Jessica. She writes, let me see. Hi, friends. Great to be here. Happy New Year. This is my favorite show. Hell yeah. That's what's up. I appreciate that, Chubby Jessica.
Your favorite show, and you're our favorite fan.
Yep. Yep.
And then Ms. Vero
Yeah,
wrote,
so
I
that's
love this
cool.
podcast with the fam. Hell yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
no, for sure. No, that's cool, man. We love having you guys here. We feel connected to you guys. It's crazy how things have taken a turn. For a lot of us since we started doing this. Taking a turn for the better. We were just kind of floating in the wind, Jesse and I, just kind of living life. But you guys are a part of our journey now, in a sense. You guys are helping us do some of this time with us. Jesse's nearing the end of his journey here. We're both technically lifers. Those of us that know us, that have been on this podcast with us for
Over a year. How long we been doing this, James? Year and a half?
Yeah, yeah.
When did we start?
Uh, what was it? September 2023? August, September?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that because now that you guys are here, Jesse goes to board next year, and after that, he's not going to be a lifer no more.
I go to board this year. I'll be out next year.
Oh, you go to board in 2025?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's going to be fast.
Yeah, because I'm going to put my petition in April or May, and they're going to grant my date within the next 2 months. So I'm more likely I'll be going around November, December. They could push me out till January.
Yeah.
But if they push me out to January, my date right now is actually February of next year. But
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
They're going to push your petition to advance.
Yeah, so I'll be going this year. I should be out by May, June, somewhere around by summer of next year is what I predict.
Yeah. I go to court next month too, but they're going to postpone me. I got to call my attorney, matter of damn fact. And right now, my board date's at 2031, but I'm up for resentencing right now, and it's so crazy that I was sentenced to 40 years to life, and 2031 is right around the corner now. A lot of things have changed in the laws. I'll be in for 21 years at that time, and it's just crazy because it just doesn't feel like that. I've been in for almost 15 years, and Jesse's been in for over 20. He's been in for 23 years, almost 24 now.
Yeah, this year makes 24.
Yeah, and it's just crazy that it's just how we process doing time is probably a lot different than people perceive it. Where we feel in a lot of ways like our life has been put on hold, and so our concept of decades is different. Yes, we feel it. We can feel that we've been here, but you can only punish somebody for so long. Guess what? We adapt. We adapt to this, and unfortunately, we adapt to prison too well as being former gang members and stuff like that. So we adapted to the system and to CDCR and to just confinement, and some sick, twisted part in our head told us that we were okay with it, that this is all right, this is what it is, and this is all it'll ever be, and thank God that we've got ourselves out of that state of mind. But we realize, hey, this is not okay. There's nothing about this that's okay, and we're here for a reason. Jesse and I, we both took somebody's life. We're here for two different 187s, and that means that's two families that are never going to have their loved one again. That's an entire process that it'll never stop being carried out. That they're going to forever be victims of our decisions.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And I think that's a good catalyst right there for one of the things that we wanted to talk about today, which is prison mentality. And so I think what you're saying, Dave, is for a long time we were okay with being here. I know I was. When I walked through these doors, I knew I was never going to walk out. I had life without the possibility of parole before, so I knew I was guilty. I knew what I had done, and I knew that I was never getting out of prison. But the reality was I was okay with that. I adapted the prison mentality. I adapted. I already subscribed to the ideology, and I wore coming to prison as a badge of honor. But while I was in here, I also developed a whole bunch of new distorted beliefs and ideologies and a more distorted mentality. And so you pick up all these habits and these ways, these ways of seeing things, and it's funny and it's foolish. When I look back at it now, because I've lived and died for the way I've seen things before, and it's just funny because I know a lot of people out there, they think they understand what's going on in here. They think they subscribe to this lifestyle, but the truth about it is they don't necessarily get it. They're standing on the sidelines talking about what's going on in here. And the reality of it is, if 100%, if you truly believe in this, and this is what you're doing, you're going to be here. You're not going to be standing on the sideline living this stuff, because you're going to be out there committing crimes. You're going to be out there doing silly shit that's going to get you put back in prison. And so it's.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Like there's people that come on, even on this podcast. Like, I know we block them out. We try to screen them out as much as possible. But every once in a while, somebody gets through. Some weird ass dude will get through, or some super high power ruca, some vato on the other side, be like, oh man, that's D yard right there. It's like, yeah. Sometimes I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is like. This is not cool. Those yards, no matter what yard you're on, this is not cool. Trust and believe, we're not here to promote SNY. We're not here to promote GP.
We're not here to promote prison.
Yeah, we don't want people in prison.
Yeah, on the contrary, we're trying to teach people how to think for themselves and try to avoid coming to prison. We're trying to send word out to society. Society can see a different side of prison, so that they understand that there is people in here that isn't just lost in the sauce. And,
There's people that are like, oh, them vatos fucked up. That's why they're over there. Like, yeah, no shit. That was a long time ago. I made the mistakes that I made a long time ago to come in here. But guess what? I fucked up the moment that I took that person's life. That's where I fucked up. Falling out of favor with a prison gang was the best thing that ever happened to me. Because I can still live my life. This individual that I took from his family, that's a mistake right there. That's where I fucked up. I don't want anybody to feel what that man's family has to feel. And so those are mistakes, which means that I'm here to promote anything anti that.
Right.
Anything.
And the way to piggyback on that a little bit. So let's just say, there's guys out there that say that maybe we're promoting, coming to this side or SNY, or we're, may have something against this. If you wholeheartedly subscribe to that, if you really believe that, because any kind of encouragement for anybody to be out there committing crimes and coming to prison and being taken away from your family is just plain ignorance. So if that's the case, if people that really believe that, if you got kids and stuff like that, why are you sending them to school? Don't send them to school. They don't need to send. You got to go to school. If you really believe it, then let's start right now. You know what, mijo? You're not going to school. You're from the barrio. You're my son. I'm a gangbanger. This is what it is. You know what I mean? As soon as you're big enough to carry this pistol, you're going to carry this pistol, and I want you to go to prison. You're going to represent the gang.
The barrio.
You're going to represent the barrio, and you're like. And that's like, if that's what you really believe that, like, you know what I'm saying? The perspective is so distorted that it's like, come on, man, if you really felt that what we were doing is corrupting people and something like that, okay, well then, why are you corrupting your kid right now by sending them to school? Why are you corrupting your daughters by telling them to be young ladies? Why don't you start putting bullshit in their head as early as you can? And let them know, hey, go out there to the street right now. I want you to fight all the kids in the neighborhood. I want you to be the toughest little kid you can, because you're going to go to prison when you get a little older, and you're going to be in GP, or you're not my kid.
Yeah, that's just crazy. It's just madness, And I think about it, it's like, look, the dudes that say, oh, well, I parole from B yard, I parole from A yard, I parole from C yard. Well, motherfucker, you weren't no lifer, for one. You probably had a date. Your ticket got pulled, and you got out eventually because you were probably maxed out. And that's just what it was. Eventually, no matter what you were doing in here, your ticket got pulled and you're out of here. Because if you're doing life and you parole from one of them yards, you weren't doing nothing over there. So don't act high power, because you were sitting there scared in your cell, hoping that nothing came up. So you didn't fuck off your board date. Because them dudes over there that are actually programming and getting out, them dudes are not involved with nothing. Them dudes are going to school. Them dudes are going to groups. Them dudes are doing everything that they have to do to get the fuck out of here, and they're not subscribing to that mentality. So if you came out for one of them yards, that's because, first of all, like, come on, when you're in the business like that and you're doing your thing, you're not paroling for one of them yards right there. You ain't gonna parole for no level 3. You're gonna parole from a motherfucking 180 yards. You're gonna parole eventually when they can't hold you no more, and you're gonna be picking up cases because that's what Calafalos do on that side. That's what I did. I ran past a gang of my parole dates, and I sure as hell wasn't on no podcast wolfing on freaking dudes that are over here.
That's the reality.
That shit's just weird to me.
If you're really about that life, you're not on the podcast talking out of your neck. You're in the streets running amok. You don't got time in your life to be worried about what two dudes on some peseta yard are talking about on a fucking podcast.
Yeah, that's just
you're out there grooming the homies and you getting it in. You know what I mean? You're not on social media, you know, like social media banging like, and it's just silly. You know what I mean? Like, and that not to get too much into that ignorance. You know what I mean? But the reality is like that's what it is, dog. Like you know, if you really about that life, then you got enough sense to know that you're not on social media. You know, it really just ain't that way. You got more going on in your lifestyle than to be worrying about what two pesetas are doing.
Yeah, you could come back to prison. This is where you belong.
Yeah.
You know, you can come trade places with us. We'll go out there and we'll be free.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, we'll get on the podcast. We'll even wolf a little bit for you. Yeah, but like, hey, you there, Uncle James?
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
You're ruining kids' lives telling them to stay out of prison, Holmes. Yeah, that's just weird, man. It's just weird shit. And this is the thing.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Don't think like somebody in prison, because guess what? This is where you're going to end up.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're an old man, young man, old lady.
GP, X and Y.
Yeah.
Thinking like somebody in prison, you're going to be in prison. That's what we're promoting. We're promoting the change of mind so that you're not thinking like a prisoner. You're not thinking like somebody who wants to be in prison. You're not thinking that any way of prison life or prison culture is cool, because it's not. We're trying to show people in society that we're becoming different people who are ready to be out there in society. Whether GP or not, that's what we're promoting. SNY GP, that's what we're promoting. Go ahead, you want to call back?
Yeah, give me a call back, James.
All right, hey, just to let you know, we got Marlene in here. Marlene just tapped in.
Team Gary, finally a rational person.
Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here. Yeah.
All right, so these calls only last 15 minutes and they're automatically cut off. Let me see here. Hey, what's up, Thumper? How's it going? Let me see who else. Do what I do. You put it on here. Ask them a question. Your question got filtered out, so you might want to reword it. Whatever the question was, it didn't pop up on my end. There's certain trigger words that I filtered out. Most of the like anything that reference to any type of groups, organizations, or anything like that. Those comments are not gonna come through. So just if you put something like that, that's why it didn't pop up on my end. Let me see over here. We've got a Brooklyn boy. He writes, "What up, my brother?" And there it is. It is coming right back. Let me go there and plug it back in.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello.
What's up?
All right, so I want to read out some of these comments right here. Let me see, who did we just have? We had Starlight just pop up right now. Tita writes, saludos.
Starlight.
Let me see. We got a question from Jessica, Chubby Jessica. She writes, what is everybody's New Year's resolution? We got a comment from JD Morales. He writes, my resolution is to get dollars. Chubby Jessica writes, nice. Yep. And then let me see over here on this side. We had a question from. So you know what? Do you want to answer Chubby Jessica's question, and then I'll go ahead and ask this question from TikTok from Do What I Do.
Mine's pretty simple. I'm gonna start right. I'm gonna do a New Year's resolution to not beat Felipe the Capricorn. That's it. if I could get through 2025 without beating Felipe the Capricorn, I'll be a happy man. What about you, Jess?
New Year's resolution. I didn't meet my last year's New Year's resolution, which was to lose 15 pounds.
That's my fault.
Yeah, that's all David's fault. But I will say that I think my New Year's resolution this year is to graduate.
Yeah.
To graduate school, to get my degree this year, and move on to get to San Diego State. Like, that's the highlight. And another thing is to be found suitable for parole. I have to do everything I have to do to be ready for my day. And so those are like my two main priorities for this year, are to graduate, with my AA, and to be completely ready when my day comes, whether it's November, December, to be ready for, to get in front of these people and show them who I am today.
That's right. All right, and then let me see. So, and we had a comment from do what I do, and he writes. He wrote speaking facts in regards to what you guys were talking about, on the previous call, and then he had a question. His question was, did he believe in the Most High before, and did it change after? I'm not sure. I don't understand the question.
I get what he's saying, and look, the Most High, I believe, I would think that he's talking about God, right?
Absolutely.
And look, I put my religious beliefs in, and I know what he means, because I feel like I had my moment, and I did believe in God. I've always believed in God. I am religious, but I put God to the side, and I put my morals to the side. I put everything to the side, because my higher power was my addiction and to drugs and to gangs, and so everything came secondary after that. So I wasn't able to receive that love, God's love in my life. And when I said that prayer the night, I talked about it before, when I said that prayer and I asked God to take away that addiction to meth, I didn't want to be on it no more. My walls were closing in. I was already doing life. I was confined. I was on a level 4 yard, and I just didn't want to feel like how I was feeling.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
I wanted something different in my life, and I asked God with absolute conviction that night to help take away that addiction to meth, and I just wanted it to stop, and He did. I was able to overcome my addiction, and my life has been better ever since, so I do feel the presence of God in my life in a whole different way now.
Absolutely. And like David, the same way. I've always been a believer. I just turned my back on him for what I felt was more important. I turned my back on him. My higher power for many, many years was my quest for power, and I felt I was obtaining that through drugs, through gangs, through the criminal lifestyle. And to me, that was all I could see for many, many years, But I understand His power. I understand that He's out there, and I know that today, I can't do a lot of things that I do without Him. He gives me the peace of mind. He gives me the strength to get through certain aspects of my life. So I definitely, like David said, I'm not a religious person, but I'm definitely a believer. And I know that leaning on my own understanding has done nothing but get me crap all my life. So every now and then, I gotta stop and I got to ask Him for the patience, just like we were talking about earlier with all the things that are going on right now. I've been praying a lot recently. Like, hey, God, give me the peace of mind. Take this from me. Take these obsessions, because sometimes they're not easy. Sometimes when these things are happening, it's not easy to just let it run off your back like a duck. And so you gotta stop and say, hey, you know what? Just give me this peace of mind. And whatever form you want your God to be, or whatever. That's to each person, to each their own, But I definitely believe that there's something out there greater than myself, And I definitely lean on Him whenever I need Him, and I know that He's always there. And so I feel He's given me the strength to be who I am today.
And we were able to shed some light on that,
And he wrote, "Oh man, I'm praying for you, man. You can come over anytime with Jesus." Or overcome with anything with Jesus.
Yeah, that's cool. I appreciate that. What else you got, James?
We got let me see, JD Morales wrote on YouTube. He writes, we all make mistakes, I believe. Part of being a man is to learn from your mistakes and do not repeat them, because we know where that gets us.
No, that's true. And what I like about that is, yes, it is very mature and adult wise, no matter what, because that goes for us as men, but also for women as well. Anybody that's an adult and comes into themselves and their maturity understands, look, you don't, if you continue making the same mistakes over and over again, you're still behaving like a child. You're not behaving like a grown up. And yes, I cannot take back what I had done. I can't take it back. There's something that we talked about before, and I think we mentioned it to you, James, where do I wish that I could take that back? Yeah, absolutely. I wish that I wouldn't have done what I did. I wish it could be that way, but guess what? If I wouldn't have done that then to that person, I would have still been the same jacked up person that I was. I would have still been on drugs. I would have still been living a destructive lifestyle. And guess what happens? I would have did it to somebody else. I wasn't. I wish that I had been willing to look inward at that time, to really look at myself and have that conviction then. That hey, the way that you're living is going to result in somebody's death or your own. And you're going to continue hurting the people that love you the most. If you don't make a change. And I was so consumed in my lifestyle that I was blind to that. And that's changed. And I'm lucky. I'm lucky that I've made those changes. And so is Jesse. The way we were going, we're very lucky that we're in a position to make those changes. Because let me tell you what, there's a lot of people in prison that are still living blind. You hear it on this channel sometimes. You hear it in the people that they have blind loyalty to that ideology, and that's a disease right there in itself.
And it's funny how for a lot of years, we talked about how we love our family, we love our kids, we love our old lady, we love our mom. We talk about all these things that we love. The familia first, and there's all this stuff, right? We're even willing to do some crazy things for our family, but the reality is we're never once were we ever willing to choose our families over our own selfishness. Never once were we willing to choose our family. Never once did I stop to think about how I was affecting my mother, how I was affecting my kids. You know what I mean? How it was even affecting my wife and my family at home, who was doing this time with me for many years. I never stopped to think how the things I was doing was affecting people. It was crazy, but yet, you could say like, oh man, I love my kids, they're everything. Oh man, I love my mom, she's my pride and joy. Yeah, but at no point in time are you going to stop doing what you're doing for your mother.
If that's how you treat your pride and joy, shit, I would hate to see what you do to your enemies.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Man, and we're able to understand that now, and it's nothing against anybody that still lives like that, because I understand why, you know what I mean? Like, you couldn't have told me nothing otherwise. I would have killed for my mom before, but what I wasn't going to do is I wasn't going to give up what I believed. I didn't understand that my beliefs were driving me more than what I thought was love for my mother, and the same thing for my children. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and it's crazy when I look back at it. I look and it's like, man, I can't even stop to think. Like, I was just saying today at Visit, you know what I mean? Like, man, I could have been out of prison in 2000. It's not even about the almost 24 years that I've been in here, but it is about the last 8 years. That I could have been doing something different. You know what I mean? I could have been doing something, over the last, since 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 6 years. The last 6 years, I could have been doing something different. You know what I mean? And I wasn't. It wasn't until 4 years ago that I finally woke up. You know what I mean? But I still feel like those other 2 years are lost time. you know, because of how I believed and how I felt, you know. And despite saying that I love my kids, I love my family, I love it, it's like, nah, this still came first.
You see guys in here, Jess, that have the family first tattoo.
Yeah.
You think about it, you know, you look at that and you look at it from a different perspective now. You know, it's like, all right, this guy's got a giant F on him, and they'll have like the family first in the cursive, you know, the real fancy cursive that they get.
Yeah.
And they think like, damn, like, wait.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
That man is a liar, Jesse. That man did not put his family first, unless he's here for avenging his family's honor. So you know what? You get that tattoo. You put your family in front of your entire life.
Yeah.
You know?
In front of your
Remember that dude, what's his name, Cain Velasquez?
Oh, yeah, Cain, yeah.
That dude gunned some dude down on the side of the road, a straight UFC star, WWE star, because somebody was touching on his nephew or something, and that dude was like, family first, motherfuckers. And he went and he gunned some dude down. You know, and he got a deal, and he's doing whatever time he's going to be doing, but hey, that guy gets the family first tattoo, Jesse.
Yeah.
that guy, he's the exception to the rule.
Yeah, I wanted to ask James, you know, changing lanes a little bit. James, you had sent us a message the other day about you know, one of our listeners, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit. You know what I mean? Somebody that you know that's done a lot of time, that's been through a lot of stuff in his life, and understands this lifestyle because he spent, you know, basically 30 years, you know, whether it was all at one time or in and out of the, you know, system on the installment plan. He gave, you know, he's an older gentleman, and he's out there living his life right now. You know, he's out there, you know, he's got his own home, living with his wife, taking care of his family, whatever it is may be, you know, his story. But he's ran into some you know, some bumps recently, and
rented a room to a dude who's now terrorizing his family.
Right.
And they won't do nothing to remove the guy. And I just think he's doing everything that he should be doing to stay out of prison. He feels powerless. He feels hopeless in a lot of senses, you know? And that's a lot of the questions that we had in that regard. That's what triggered this, it triggered this topic about prison mentality. Because we think, like, if that man is dealing with it, he's dealing with it like a civilian. He's dealing with it like, look, we don't have all the answers all the time. All we can say is what not to do. What not to do, you sure as hell can't take the dude out. Society does not accept that. That's not something that's acceptable.
Yep.
Acceptable behavior. And so that's not an option.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
I've always said this statement, and I hope that, you know, the brother who actually sent us this message, I hope he can truly take this to heart and understand this. But there's a statement that I've always said, you know, since I've been in my recovery, and I live by it, is you got to be willing to suffer for things you're not willing to sacrifice. You know what I mean? And I hear you, bro. I know you're in a fucked up situation. You're in a bad way dealing with this bullshit. You know what I mean? But you got to be willing to suffer just a little for something you're not willing to sacrifice. You don't want to sacrifice your freedom. You don't want to sacrifice your family. We're going to call back.
Yep. I'm going to call back right now.
All right, for sure. Hey, for sure. All right. So let me see. Do what I do. I'll go ahead and ask him your question shortly. And then let me see what else. Let me see. Thumper put, James, are you falling asleep? Nah, I'm not falling asleep. I'm just thinking. And let me see what else. And damn, 24 already is crazy respect. And let's see over here on Chubby Jessica, great moderation, James. Thanks for all the hard work. Hey, you're welcome. And let me plug them in right now.
This call is now being recorded.
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello.
James. Yeah.
David.
Well, I wanted to emphasize on what Jesse was saying, right? Now, look, and that was a great statement, Jess. I please repeat that one more time because I want to internalize that statement.
So the statement is you got to be willing to suffer for which you're not willing to sacrifice. You got to be willing to suffer. A lot of times in here, we got to be willing to suffer hits to our pride and our ego because we're not willing to sacrifice our freedom. We're not willing to sacrifice our family, our integrity, and all the things that we're built on, that we're building our recovery on, for a simple hit on, on our pride and our ego. I'm not willing to suffer giving my power to somebody else.
I finally found something that you said. There's okay, that's there's top 3 statements, right? The other one is not that one yet. I'm saying that those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. And then there's a Jesse classic. You can't unsuck a dick.
I'm like, hey, David, I don't think this is appropriate for today's topic.
It's not, but it's still that's one of Jesse's top 3 phrases. Like, they are. I internalize those things. Those things are great. It's great advice. Take that, heed that advice. But no, okay. So
if you fuck up, you fuck up.
It's done. There's no taking that back. It's done. You know what I mean?
I tell my wife all the time.
So less delicately
I'm always telling her.
Said so less delicately by Jesse, but still impactful. So this is the thing, right? This is the thing about Homeboy. Like, me personally, this is what I would do in that situation. But we're not talking about Dave the lifer. Dave this is Dave with the experience. Dave that has actually, I got blood on my hands. I've taken somebody's life, and I know what that leads to. So this is the opposite of that decision making. I let somebody, I've got out, James, right? I got out, and I'm a nice guy. I have an extra room in my home. I'm living with my wife. I got the grandkids there. I got the kids there and stuff like that. And I rent a room out to somebody. Seems like a pretty fair dude. He's he's working and handling his business. And the same goes for Sellies. Sellies are like this too. That's why I would never live with Felipe. Gives me them vibes. All right, but so you let the guy in, right? You rent the room to the guy. I love Felipe. I just want you guys to know that I'm not picking on the guy. That is my son right there. And
my daughter.
Yeah, and he talks a lot worse to me, so you guys know it's a real disclosure.
Hey, he might start biting on your ankles soon.
So we let. Yeah. So no, for sure. So we let this guy live in the house. We let him stay in there. Against my better judgment, I reach out because I have a big heart. The guy's staying with me now. Okay, so we're gonna go about, everything's good. A couple months go by, everything's good, and for some reason the dude starts having beefing with the neighbor. The dude's sleeping with the neighbors, catting out. And it's like, all right, well, maybe it's the neighbor's fault. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, this dude seems pretty level-headed. So this dude's freaking beefing with the neighbors all the time. It's a big old thing. Cops are getting called. And finally, I'm like, hey, what the hell? And the dude's, like, he's being unreasonable. Like, hey, the neighbor's doing this, and starts accusing the neighbors of doing some pretty foul shit. And that's going to cause problems. That's bringing shit,
It's just delusional, though, because you can't even see the neighbors. There's a 6.5, 7 fence.
You can't see it. Yeah, we know it's this dude tripping. Everybody knows this dude is tripping. The cops know this dude's tripping, but their hands are tied legally
because of renter protections.
Renter protections, where it's like, all right, I think Homeboy needs to find a place to go. So finally, you confront the dude. And the dude freaking spazzes out on you. The dude, first of all, refusing to leave, but then he goes and he breaks all your shit in your house. He just destroys your house. And then, not only that, this little ankle biter starts threatening me and starts saying that your kids are going to call me daddy now, and just saying fucked up shit like that. Now, what do you do in that situation? You've already got 2 strikes. Next strike, anything happens, you've already done a gang of time, so you know where all this leads. You know that if you make the wrong decision, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. Especially you're older. We're getting out of prison. And we're older. Half our life is done. We don't have another life sentence to get through. There's a guy downstairs. James, that just found out, and this is one of our buddies. Good dude, LWAP dude, just found out yesterday he's got liver cancer.
Mm.
He's done. He knows it. And this is somebody we talk to all the time. And it's just like, okay, so once you're older and you're past 50s, you're 60 years old, and you go to prison for a life sentence, you're done. There's no, you're going to do 20, 25 years minimum on a new life sentence, you know, and he's done. So he knows that. He knows where it leads. You can't, the streets are calling though, because there's still a little part of your old mentality, that obsession, no matter how long you've been out, it's going to trigger. It's going to whisper something dark in your ear. Maybe you can get away with it. Maybe you can do this. Maybe you can get the homie to do something. Every single decision or every single thought that comes to your mind in your old mentality is not going to be the right one. That's the decision that has Jesse and I right here in this cell with life sentences, because that old voice was what ran our life. So what do? Well, let me tell you what. You need to watch one of them old videos of one of them Karens. You need to become, what did Deadpool 2, remember Deadpool versus Wolverine? He said, I got a black belt in Karen.
Yeah.
You need to get a black belt in Karen. You need to get your phone out and you need to start recording.
Not only that though, low key, if that brother ends up hearing this podcast, ends up hearing this episode.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
What are these called?
Yeah, the episodes.
Are we in a segment?
Yeah, we're
Streams,
in a segment. We're in a
episodes.
Series. Yeah, we're in a stream. We're in a
Tell me we're in a stream.
In my public speech, we call it a moderated series.
I don't like the way that sounds. We're in the middle of a stream, Jesse.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a stream. I don't like that. I feel like I'm gonna get. I feel like somebody's doing a golden shower on me.
I feel like the word is. I feel like the TikTok and YouTube universe is peeing on us, Jesse.
Yeah. Now, but look at though, real quick though, James. If that brother happens to hear this, you know, tell him to touch base with you, and I got some legal advice for him that there are things he can do. I know it seems impossible, and I know that the sheriffs are telling him, or the cops, or wherever wherever he's at, they're telling him that they can't get rid of him because of renter protections, and there's some truth to that. But he can serve them with a 3-day eviction notice. He can get a temporary eviction while he serves it, so he, just tell him if he touches base with you, we can touch base with him, and I can actually give him some sound legal advice to make the eviction a lot quicker and put some safeguards into place for him.
Would this classify as a domestic situation?
Absolutely.
And so what's the difference of, okay, so let's say it's not the renter, let's say it's a husband and wife.
Right.
Let's say the husband starts putting his hands on the wife, but he's paying bills there, he's a renter, he's on the lease.
Right.
Does that mean that she can't get him out of the house?
No, absolutely not.
Put his ass in jail.
That's why he has to document some of the situations that are taking place.
That's why I say utilize your black belt and Karen. Pull the phone out, and if he does anything threatening, if he breaks anything, then guess what? You record all that because you're going to have to bring that to the judge. You're going to have to bring that to the judge when you get that temporary restraining order, and you say, this dude is terrorizing my life. He's in the house threatening my life and my family's life. You have to stop thinking like a convict. You're not a convict no more.
No.
Guess what? This is the place for convicts. Prison. These are people that don't make good decisions under pressure.
You spend enough time in here to know that you don't want to be these motherfuckers' job security.
Yeah,
that's all we are.
You don't even want to be me and Jesse right now making the wisest decisions in prison.
Right.
But guess what? We're still in prison.
Yeah, you already made the wisest decision by staying out for as long as you have to even have a home to rent a house.
I'm saying,
so don't be that guy sitting in here.
Yeah, learn from us. This is not everything you remember about prison. It's worse now.
Yeah, stay with that. But the reality is, just look at what you value. Just look at what you value. You value your home. You value your freedom. You got a son that's off in the military, which is awesome. Congratulations. Thank you for your service. You know, things like that. Like, those are the things you got to see that's important. And I'm going to tell you right now, like, you know as well as we do, you know, dealing with things the way we did in our past, that's the easy part. It doesn't require any discipline. It doesn't require any thought. All it requires is impulse and recklessness. And a total disregard for yourself and anybody else. Nothing. It's easy to do that. What you want to do is you want to make the right choice. You want to do what's best for you, and you need to stop yourself for a minute and say, hold on, you know what I mean? I've been doing it this long, and I got myself in a place to even be in this situation, and I'm not willing to sacrifice what I've worked so hard for to give my power to another human being.
Trust me, bro. I'm here because I have a black belt in JCAT. That's why I'm here, and that's why Jesse's here. And we're not we know what that is. One thing that might help, and just a little tip, like if you do choose to record issues, you need evidence somehow. So far it's probably going to be your word against his. But this is the thing. Put an auto lock on your phone. That's what I would do. If he starts spazzing out, hit the record button and hold the phone up. You got two things to protect you there. For one, put your phone on like a 5-second auto lock. It'll still record and the app will still keep going. But if he was to somehow take the phone out of your hand, which is illegal also, because you can't, that's just waiting a witness anyway. And, I know guys in here that are doing life for that right now. That was their third strike because they snatched the phone out of somebody's hand before they can call for help. And so that's a problem. But if he was to get the phone, he wouldn't be able to erase the video because he wouldn't be able to log in. And the entire scuffle over him taking the phone will still be recorded. So that's what I would do, honestly.
And the reality of it is, if you make a horrible decision that can bring you back to prison for life,
Felipe needs a celly.
Yeah, definitely. You could be our neighbor. I make some good ass burritos. You want to spend Christmas with me next year? But but on some serious shit. Like think about this, bro. Like as miserable and as fucked up as the situation may feel like right now, just think about how much worse it'll be if your old lady's out there by herself, struggling, figuring out how to keep that house afloat. How to pay those bills by herself. Your son's off in the military fighting for this country so that you can have the freedoms to own your own home. And now you're going to leave him out there without his father. Things like that. Like, just think about those decisions, bro, and how impactful making a horrible choice like that can affect you. And not just that, think about this idiot who's living in your fucking house, or how it may affect his mother and his family. You know what I mean? Just stay mindful of these things, because in the moment, doing something ignorant and something impulsive, it's nothing. You know what I mean? But the ramifications of any of those decisions, they're definite. You know what I mean? They're indefinite. You know what I mean? Like it's forever, and it'll mess you up. It'll mess your wife up. It'll mess everything you built for yourself and established. It'll have a negative impact. It'll have an adverse effect on you. It'll have an adverse effect on your community, on society as a whole. So just take a minute and say, you know what, man? I'm going to do this the right way. I tell Dave all the time, when we get into some of these situations, I talk about like, I've hurt a lot of people in my life. We both have hurt a lot of people in our life, And if we get into situations right here in prison and somebody feels compelled to put their hands on me or something goes bad, I try to play the tape in my head that's like this. I've hurt many of people. Am I not willing to take, a couple punches or a mild ass whooping at best to ensure that I'm not hurting my family anymore, I'm not hurting society anymore, I'm not jeopardizing my freedom, because if I fight back and I do something crazy, there goes my freedom for at least another 5 years, right?
That's a violent act.
Yeah, that's a violent act, And like I said, I've shot, I've stabbed, I've fought, I've done anything violent you could think of. I've been doing that my whole life. I've been a violent person since I was a young child.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
That was a tool that I felt worked for me. I know now that it absolutely, you can't fight fire with fire. All you're going to do is burn your house down, And so now the way I see it is if I'm not willing to suffer just a little bit, fuck it. If some dude just having a bad day and he comes up and he says something crazy to me and I try to just walk away and he feels disrespected because in prison you don't turn your back on me. I'm not going to sit here and argue with ignorance. I'm not going to entertain you, bro. You're tripping. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm gone. And a dude wants to take off on me, I have to take that moment to say, am I going to turn around and...
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
That's prison Jesse right there.
Yeah.
He didn't go by Jesse.
Right, exactly. That's not prison Jesse. That was my alter ego that I lived by for so many years. Am I going to turn around, whoop his ass, and sacrifice everything that I've been building over the last 4 years, for a moment of weakness and give my power over to somebody else? Or am I going to say, you know what, what's a couple punches? What's a little hit on my ego because dude's going to be like, oh, man, that dude didn't handle his business. Well, if you felt so strong about it, then why didn't you handle your business? You know what I mean?
And you're probably going to break both your wrists, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesse used to break his wrists all the time in fights.
Yeah, I can't be breaking my wrists anymore.
This was a fight. This was a scrappy motherfucker in his day, too. And he broke his wrist all the time.
Yeah, I can't be doing it. Can't afford to have him a broken wrist. I'm 44 years old. They don't heal like they used to.
I
hit too hard and my wrists are too delicate.
All right, all right. So for those of you that are just tuning in right now, this is Jesse and David. They are Celis. They're located in the Centinela State Prison, which is located in the Valle Imperial. They're in a level 3 yard. And, I want to go ahead and welcome you guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'll go ahead and ask them, in the order they're received. And I believe I still have one question that I got to ask them from Do What I Do. So right now when they finish up on this topic, or, I'll go ahead and ask them. Hey, Starlight, gracias. Highly appreciate it.
This call is now being
Global
recorded.
Talent. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado en
SOCAL.
de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Talent.
Hello, James. Hey, Fish Slayer SoCal. He's arrived. Finally, my boy. Damn. Where have you been? We got a sound effect for you, just so you know.
Yeah, you got your own entrance music.
Yeah, we know
If
you're
you
here.
Fish, we got your own entrance music, homeboy.
It has to be him. But look, I told him to put the dolphin sound on there. I don't know where this rooster came in. I don't know if you're into that like cockfighting stuff. You know what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
Where he got this idea. But look, give the man a fish noise.
El gallo pescado.
I gotta program it. I only got 4 sounds, and I got the horn, I got the chicken, I got the Price is Right, and then I got perfect. So it was that or perfect or So I think the chicken was gonna.
You gotta have one that goes ora.
Ora.
That's for the that's for the high power vatos, you know what I mean? My high power vatos say something. Ora.
Ora.
Yeah, exactly. See, you gotta pre-record that or something. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna clip it.
We gotta do the Nahuatl call too. Like when somebody comes with some straight bullshit, you know what I mean? That's what you gotta do.
Hey, how do you say
That's
coffee?
That's the high power one.
How do you say coffee in Nawa?
Oh, fuck it. Warichi?
Yeah, I'm
Warichi?
gonna need you to say Warichi, and I'm gonna have to. That's gonna be the sound right there.
Yeah, you see? I'm surprised I still remember my Nawa, you know? Yep.
Hey, so Fish Slayer
Yeah,
wrote.
that's
He wrote
that's the boy.
Fish Slayer
What's up?
SoCal wrote saludos to James, Jesse, and David. Happy New Year. This year is going to bring all good things. And then he put the little laughing emoji, and he put the little rooster, and he says El Pollo Loco.
El Pollo Loco, that's it. He's immortalized.
Yeah, that's it. He's in.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get Chubby Jessica a cat sound too.
Yeah, make sure you put a cat sound on there for Chubby Jessica.
Yep,
and
for
a
sure.
rooster for Fish SoCal.
Yep.
And we send ours to you, bro. Hopefully everything's been good for the new year. Now, quick question. Felipe wanted to know if you were going to send them the letter to him or you wanted to send it to James, or how,
Well, he
he
did.
going to work that out.
He texted to me, so I could print it out because I gotta send mine out to Jesse. I mean to Felipe. Does it have to be signed or anything? Because if it doesn't have to be signed, I'll just send it when I send mine.
I think you should always sign it.
Yeah, you have to sign
Okay.
it. They always
Yeah.
got to be signed.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Or if anything, you should just email it.
EJ don't
Better
got it.
email it because you can email it straight to the BPH also.
Yeah.
Did he send his to BPH already?
Not mine. No, I haven't done it yet.
Okay. What about Fish?
I'm not sure. I'll let you know right now when he responds. But he did write. Let me see. Chubby Jessica
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
wrote Happy New Year, Fish Slayer, and Fish Slayer wrote, I'm here doing the chicken dance.
And the crazy part is so am I. That's very coincidental. You know what I mean? I thought I was walking like an Egyptian, but it's a little different. You know what I mean?
It looks more like a chicken than an Egyptian.
Apparently, I don't know how Egyptians walk.
He's over scraping the dirt around with his claw.
Yep. My little clothes?
Popping his head forward like.
That's because I'm triggered.
Looking like a fighter.
Yep. Yeah, I'm super triggered, so that's what I'm doing.
That's cool.
Hey, I got two questions.
so-
I got two questions for you. One from do what I do, and one from Chubby Jessica. I'm gonna ask do what I do first, and he's asking, does he have wheels, aka lifer?
Oh yeah, well yeah, we don't. You're talking about us?
Yeah.
Both of us are doing life. Yep. I've never heard it called wheels before, but I mean, I guess that's like, because that's a spades term.
Yeah.
You say you're going wheels, you're all in.
That's all I mean. Yeah. All 10 books. Did we get a full pool? Yeah.
Yeah, but see, things are different now, like for lifers. So, like, my wife hates when I use that term, because technically, yes, I got 2 L's. I got 15 to life for second degree 187, and I have 25 to life consecutive for use of a firearm in the commission of a 187. Jesse had LWOP.
He was like LWOP for baloney boosting.
Yep, he was life without parole, and then he went back on an appeal and got it reduced to he took his own case to trial on a retrial. He did that shit pro per, and this fool got 15 to life with a 10-year gun enhancement
for a total of 25 to life.
25 to life, yeah.
And this year I've been incarcerated for going on 24 years.
Yeah, we both have an opportunity to go to board. So Jesse goes to board because he's going to go on his 25th year. Well, he's a youth offender.
Yeah, I already went to board once. I'm going back again this year.
Yep, and then me, my board date is technically 2039, but they made changes in the law for elderly parole. So once I'm in for 20 years, I'll be in for 21 at that time, and then I'll be 50. I get to go to board a little earlier. So that's why I got about a little over 6 years to board. Yep, that'll put me at 21. Yep, we went wheels.
All right.
Go ahead.
And then I got the question from Chubby Jessica, and she writes, how do you guys think a program like El Pollo Loco offering job training or mentorship help can change public perceptions and support redemption for formerly incarcerated individuals?
That'd be huge.
What the hell? You think you could put that in layman terms?
Hey, Chubby Jessica is always she's always coming up with the words.
No, she's super smart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She comes with some super smart questions. Like,
that's what makes her awesome. She always comes with the gas.
Thank God she's not like a super villain or something. You know what I mean? She'd be like one of them. She's gonna be like Gru from the Minions, you know?
Yeah. Thank God she's one of our biggest fans,
Yeah.
not one of our biggest enemies. She'd probably be assassinating the channel right now.
Yeah.
Thank God it's an idiot who thinks we're promoting gangs is our enemy and not her.
I mean, like Dr. Octavius. Remember the freaking all the arms?
Yeah. Thank God. I'd rather have the idiot who thinks we're promoting SNYs than have Chubby Jessica as our enemy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll take idiots like that all day long.
Yeah, we can hold ours against his. We can hold ours against his kind. We'd be in trouble with Chubby Jessica.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but go ahead, Jess. Answer that question if you could decipher it.
Yeah. So you're asking me why I like El Pollo Loco?
No,
I'm just that's what I got out of that question. No. So basically, what she's saying, how do we feel if El Pollo Loco offered some sort of training program for what?
Did she say a Pollo Loco like the actual restaurant?
That's
Yeah.
what I got. I was like, what?
Yeah, she said, I'll go ahead and read it again. How do you guys think a program like El Pollo Loco offering job training or mentorship help change public perceptions and support redemption for formerly incarcerated individuals?
What is that though? Because it's assuming that's not the restaurant.
No, that is.
No, yeah, it has to be the restaurant.
They're actually El Pollo Loco is actually offering a mentor and training program through their thing.
I think that's amazing.
It's absolutely amazing because it's showing society them being a legitimate, freaking conglomerate of a food chain. You know what I mean? They definitely are showing society that it's okay to take chances on formerly incarcerated. So it would absolutely help reshape the perspective because it'll encourage other, companies and moguls and all kinds of big establishments to be willing to take chances on people and in the process give people opportunities that they normally wouldn't be able to get based on the fact that they are formerly incarcerated or it just it opens doors to them that wouldn't necessarily be open to them before. So I think I want to definitely commend, if that's something that's really happening, I definitely want to commend the Pollo Loco for going out and extending on all the olive branch, because just like Fish Slayer, like that, he's family with us now, you know what I mean? And just like he's extended his hand and his resources to us, that opens doors and gives opportunities to people like us that sometimes we may never have had the opportunity to get into it, and we appreciate those things. And it makes it easier for us to be able to build a life for ourselves, you know what I mean? And so if Pollo Loco's doing it, it's giving people opportunities, and it's going to help other people.
Wow.
But it's okay to do that. It's okay to
What happened? What do you hear?
That's the hot pot.
That's the hot pot. That was a false hour. You don't say agua when the water.
False hour.
Yeah. What do you think I was doing? You think I was streaming right now? Running a stream? Is that what you thought?
That's what it sounded like. False alarm over here.
But yeah, definitely.
I'm not running a stream.
Definitely, no. I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing to answer questions. I think it's a great thing because it'll help other people. It'll encourage other people to be able to take those chances, and they'll be surprised. I don't know if, like how we've talked about it with Fish Slayer several times, that there's a different caliber of discipline and work ethic, coming from individuals that've been incarcerated for a long time. I don't know if you'll get that from short-timers all the time, but at the same time, a lot of these guys that are coming in and out of prison, it's because they genuinely feel that there's nothing for them out there. And you never know what opportunity extended to them might help them shape their own perspective of themselves and give them the strength to decide to make some courageous choices for themselves and build on the opportunity given to them.
Let me ask you a question, James. And this goes to Chubby Jessica also and to everybody else that's out there, right?
The next time you ask a question like that, let's try to simplify it a little bit because you almost lost us.
Yeah, I was lost in a Pollo Loco. I was like, damn, a Pollo Loco. He still got the...
Yeah, she said a Pollo Loco. Dave started heating up his burrito.
I did. That's what you heard. I was putting water in the hot pot. That triggered me.
Yeah, he triggered it.
Yeah. No, so let me ask you this, right? So what do you think prison is for, James? The first thing, when you think of prison, what is it for?
Me or Jesse?
James.
Oh, me?
No, Jesse knows what it's for. He's sitting here.
I know what it's for. I'm here for what it's for.
Yeah. No, but what is the sole purpose, right, of prison? First and foremost, first things first. We need prisons. Why?
So individuals could pay back their debt to society.
No, absolutely not at all. Go ahead. Protect the public.
Protect the public.
Yeah.
Protect society.
Protect the public. It's
punishment is second.
Yeah, punishment, punitive damages are second, but first and foremost, in the interest of public safety, we cannot be out in society because we committed crimes that threaten public safety. You can't have somebody out there shooting people and doing these crazy things and robbing people, and that's not in the interest of public safety in a civilized society. First and foremost, prisons are designed in the interest of the protection of public safety. First and foremost. So, second would be...
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
It's always said that, okay, well, there has to be some level of punishment, right? Because if we come in, that's why we don't have a lot of the things that, we need in here half the time, because they say, well, we can't give them anything. They're never going to want to go home. And yes, that's true. There's some people that would sit in prison. They got no life out there. There's people that are doing it over there on the main line all the time. People that do it here in SOY. This is what it is. This is all their life will ever be, and they're all right with it because they got nothing. And for some people, hey, to each their own, right? But
prison's 3 hots and a cot to them.
Absolutely. But when we're in prison for decades at a time, guess what? We stop feeling that punishment. That punishment isn't yes, we have an idea, we adapt. We stop feeling the extreme situation. Just like if you're
desensitized to the punitive aspect of it.
Absolutely. We don't feel it anymore. We get yelled at by a CO or, something like that, and it's not the same as when we first came in, when we felt that fear and all those things. We're just like, it's supposed to Jake, you have to fucking keep your mouth shut and it'll be over, and those types of things, and it'll be over soon, and those are those things, though, that desensitize us. So after decades at a time, when you feel like, hey, we've paid our price to society, whatever, but that's not for us to say. That's up to the parole board, and that's up to, civilized society who elected people to make those decisions. Hey, these guys, they've paid their price. They've done their time. They've reformed themselves. First and foremost, they are no longer a threat to public safety.
And that's the number one determining factor on whether or not you get to go home or not.
That's it. That is the number one factor. Secondary, yes,
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
they do have the victims in mind. They hear it. But they think, do we need to continue incarcerating this person when he's no longer a threat to public safety? That's why you have these lifers out there in society. And there is people who made that decision, courageous people. I think it was Jerry Brown started to let the lifers out.
Yep.
I'm going to give you a call back, James, because I want to touch on this a little bit more. Got another call? Got
Yeah,
more
yeah,
calls?
for sure. And I want to read off a comment before you leave. Or we reconnect. El Fischler Soca wrote, "I am Pollo Loco."
All right. That's it. Yeah, I got to work on my crow. I guess that's what we're going to be speaking now. All right. I'll give you a call back.
All right, cool, for sure. All right. So they should be calling us back in the next moment or two. Unfortunately, I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with these phone calls. They're limited, especially when they come in from the state of California. They're disconnected automatically after 15 minutes. So we just go ahead and hang out here for a bit, and once they call back, we'll go ahead and patch the calls through. And for those of you that are not familiar with these gentlemen, this is Jesse and David. They are cellies, and oddly enough, they know each other from the street, so they met back up in prison.
This call is now being
Este es
recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
James.
David.
Gavato. Yeah, so, yep, I wanted to, and I think that's important because it does come back to her question. Okay, so everything I'm saying right now, it was a long-winded explanation because I want people to understand what is happening here. You get guys who are getting released, right? Jesse and I, when we got our time, we were done. We went wheels. There was nothing, like they were not letting lifers out. Once you got an L, you were done. You were going to die in prison. And so when I got 40 years to life, I was thinking, okay, well, there's no way. I know guys that were doing 7 to life that are still there after 30 years. I'm done. Jesse, LWAP, done. Like, we're talking about, like, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. We look around and this is our world. There's nothing beyond this. We can't even see the world out our windows because all it is desert and desolate freaking lands. They put prisons in the middle of nowhere. We have nothing but these walls. And so that's a hard pill to swallow. So somehow, some way, we get ourselves out of that hopelessness and we start to program. The word program didn't even sound right to us. We're like, damn, like I'm one of them fools now. I'm a programmer. We're so brainwashed into that warped gang ideology, we think it's a bad thing to be a programmer. God forbid you call yourself a Christian in here. There's people that say that. They're like, well, that fool's a Christian. He's hiding behind the Bible. That usually followed every time you said someone was a Christian. Oh, what's that fool doing? Oh, he's right there. He's doing his things, just hiding behind the Bible. There's always there, It's a little different,
They got a saying in here, if you're scared, go to church.
Yeah, no, that's it. If you're scared, go to church. That's what it is. People they weren't respecting that walk. They looked at it like, oh, you manipulated your way out of having to do anything. Well, we're stuck in this because we don't got the courage to do what you're doing. That's basically what it is,
Mm-hmm.
But now we have an opportunity to go home. So what she said was, look, they have El Pollo Loco apparently is training people. Yeah, they're giving people opportunities to learn how to not only get out of prison, but I think what she's saying is they're helping people learn how to hire people like us.
Right, exactly.
And that's amazing right there because we are an excellent workforce. Fishlayer said, look, you can't teach those guys. You can't teach people the lessons that we learned in here. And a lot of it is respect, and we understand opportunity when we see it, because our life was taken. We were done.
It's respect for opportunity, discipline, work ethic. You know what I mean? There's just a whole lot of, so it's the experience hasn't been all bad.
No.
Because even people out there like Fish Sokas, some of his best workers, been dudes that spent half their life in prison.
Former lifers.
Yep, former lifers.
That's a term now.
Yep.
That was never a term before. You were a lifer, you were done. You got all day. That's what it was. All day was all day.
Yep.
But now we have a term where we say, oh, the homie, he's a former lifer. It's like, damn, think about how powerful that is. That man committed something heinous back in the day. Whether it was 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago, that man, usually when you got life for something. Because they're letting people out with 187s faster than they're letting 3 strikers out.
Yep.
So 3 strikers, man, I'm seeing those dudes get run through the mill trying to get out of here, because they've committed 3 violent felonies. And the board's like, man, I'd rather let this dude out that committed only 1 bad one than let you dudes back out again for a 4th strike. And so that's unfortunate, because I've seen some 3 strikers that have changed, but I've seen some that haven't. So I think it's a powerful thing that companies now are realizing this, hey, not only are they letting these guys out, these guys are going to be a part of the workforce. Let's best find solutions to giving these guys opportunities to be productive in society, because we're no longer threats to public safety once we're deemed suitable. What is suitability, Jess?
It means you're ready. It means you're ready.
Means you're ready.
Yep. Let's give these guys some opportunities. Let's give them a chance to realize that there's more to life than hopelessness and what they're doing. They're obviously understanding the science that a lot of formerly incarcerated, come back because they get out of prison, they go right back to the same places they were. Nobody's giving them a job. They're felons. They don't know how to work because they're used to easy money. Things like that. And if you have somebody, they don't believe in themselves. And if you got companies like Pollo Loco willing to see goodness in you, what makes you want to rise to that level? The gangs, when they seen something good in you, and they seen good. Oh man, that fool's with it. Okay, well now I want to be everything they want me to be. I'm going to be exactly who. Okay, that's what I get praised for by them. What's the same concept, just in a pro-social, positive manner? Those guys are mentoring and opening opportunities. What's starting to instill? I'm sure it's instilling in people out there. Oh man, these people are taking a chance on me. Well, I need to be everything they believe I am, and I need to. And they're going to start working for those opportunities, and they're going to start capitalizing on them, and they're going to start showing them Pollo Loco, what they're doing, and that they appreciate what they're doing for them. And so I think it's great, because it has a giant societal impact.
It's another thing too is that, look, I think people need to be aware of the rate of failure, because some people are going to get out and they're going to fail out there.
Yeah.
Former lifers are going to get out, and some of them are going to come back. Most less than 1%. It's less than 1%. Think about it. You're going to have a higher chance, 99% chance, that somebody who wasn't in prison is probably going to make a bad decision. Only 1% of the lifers, though, get out and do something.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And most of them come back for drug addiction, like a relapse, and domestic violence is a pretty high one also. That's what it'll be, because that's why you have to work on things when you're in here. You have to start knocking down all them triggers.
You have to understand that relationships inside prison in a controlled environment are a lot different than relationships in society. You get fragments and fractions of who people are, when there's, walls and barriers between a relationship, So you get out there and it's like, well, hold on, maybe this isn't the person that I thought they were, or maybe, hey, there's just a lot of different things. And so that's another thing. Not only that, a lot of people in prison have had somebody telling them what to do their whole life, and so now they get out of prison, it's kind of like, okay, do I really want somebody telling me what to do still?
The funny part is that for a lot of the relationships that I've heard fail, like when people get out, I've heard a lot of successes. I've heard of people like Dylan's back with his girl somehow. That's what I heard, and he got out, some guy that was here, and they were like on the verge of divorce in here. Yeah. And that's crazy, there's a lot of people though that they worked it out. They found out, they went out there, figured it out, and was like, man, I miss this person. This is my, I like having this person on my, by my side. Yeah. You could go out there and do whatever you got to do, but there's nothing like that ride or die that's with you all the time. It's like, man. So it's not a one size fits all kind of thing.
That, and it's a lot different too to get out there, and it's kind of hard if you've had somebody that's done time with you. It's kind of hard to go out there for somebody else to try to fill that shoe or hold that candle, because they're already at a disadvantage. There's already somebody in your life that has showed you where their grit was and who they are by holding you down when you needed it. What does the Bible say? It's not about doing what you can, it's about doing what you can't. Yeah,
you might be searching for something that you've already had this entire time. Where it's like, this is, try to recreate that type of love and dedication and loyalty, That's how I see it. James, what you got for us, man? You got any, got something saucy?
Let me see. So how you had asked earlier on about, you had asked me that question about prison. What was prison for? And Yenny wrote for to punish, and let me see, and Fischler wrote Yenny. It's like Jenny. It's like Jenny, but a Y, but with a Y.
Oh, Yenny.
Yenny.
All right, Yenny.
Yeah, she wrote that it was for punishing, and then Fischler's wrote it's to keep criminals out of the streets. Reform comes while locked up.
Yeah. Hey, that's it. The you guys are both right. Maybe the priority is a little bit different. It's a matter of perspective. But like I said, keep criminals off the street. That's in the interest of public safety. Guys who are putting your livelihoods in jeopardy shouldn't be out there.
Yeah.
They should be in here, developing some empathy. It's like everything comes at a cost,
And correction, her name is not Yenny. I don't know where I got that from, but it's a Yarney, Yarney.
Hey, Yarney. All I'm saying right now is that our boy right here, he's got a few screws loose sometimes, and I don't mean that, not all the time, just sometimes.
Yeah.
I think some of the blood flows to the brocha differently,
Yeah, I think it's the mustache that stole all the intelligence.
Yeah.
Hey, no, well, she doesn't have a handle. Like, she don't have a handle. Her name is just user, and she has a bunch of like 20 different characters in her. It's like a whole digit. It's like 7, 11, 3, 3, 16. So she's mentioned her name before, and I thought it was Yenny. So she just put it up right now to correct me.
Yenny from the block. Yenny from the block.
I thought you were just saying it kind of like with a Spanish accent,
Yeah. I thought the paisa was coming out.
Yeah, I was like, hey.
Órale, Yenny.
Órale, Yenny.
Yenny from the block. And so she said it's for punishment, huh?
Yeah.
Yarney wants us punished.
Well.
It's like the old days when you're like stuck in that wooden board. Remember that?
Yeah, you got your arms and your head through it.
You got your head and your arms through the little holes. You're just right there
in Times Square.
Yeah, in the middle of Times Square.
Yeah. Standing on top of a bucket.
Got you in the
every
guillotine.
Once in a while, you catch a cane. Yeah, you catch a cane in the cachete. You know what I mean? Every once in a while.
Yeah. That's horrible.
That's punishment right there. That's that right there. Like, you're doing hard time right there.
Oh, yeah.
You're catching a cane in the cachete.
Sending us to the brig.
No, that's cool. No, but I'm glad, I like that you guys are interacting with us, answering some of the questions. And look, your opinion matters. You guys are out there, you guys are here for whatever reason, and we try to put some insight into incarceration, what it really is, though. This ain't the movies. This is the real deal. We're real people. Yeah, we feel pain. We have loved ones. We got people that we love. We made messed up decisions in the past, and we're trying to repair our lives. No different than anybody else who's made decisions out there and just wants to move on with their life and make better choices. Unfortunately, we made decisions that keep us here for decades. but we still feel the same things that anybody else does out there. You know, I think I've developed a lot of empathy, man. I feel everything. I'm just an emotional wreck, Jesse.
You make me
Yep,
sick.
I am an emotional wreck where I'm just like, damn, you know that even when I do like workouts on the track, I make sure not to kill the ants.
Oh yeah, I seen that the other day when we were doing the track.
Yeah, I almost threw myself to the side. You know what I mean? Like to make sure I didn't step on an ant. And I was like, man, that ant's just trying to live out its life, Jesse.
He's just cruising on his way back to the colony.
You don't want no size 12 freaking putting them out. You know what I mean? But I think about that stuff like it's like, well, who gives me the power to be judge and jury over anything? So I try to just live my life in good, orderly direction. And yeah, I get mad in here, James. I get mad. I want to beat some motherfuckers up sometimes, but I just know where that leads. It doesn't change anything. It puts us back into so many, it puts us back into the same mentality and as I lived my whole life. And I just look at it like, man, why would I want to, why do I want to hurt people anymore?
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
It's just a waste of existence.
Absolutely.
You want to do another call, James?
Yeah, call back. Fisher wrote something on here right now. He wrote prayers for all the people who lost their homes with these fires. It's crazy. I have a family that lost their homes. Damn, that sucks, man. And then we got Scorpio Rising, and she writes heartbreaking. Little praying hands.
It is. I will give you a call back.
All right, for sure. It's a trip. So you know how you made that comment right now. I was talking to my wife earlier on because I was like, man, it's so crazy. Like so many things are happening in this world. I was like, man, just like 2 weeks ago, there was that whole thing with United Healthcare and Luigi, and then I said Luigi. She was like, who's that? I was like, our attention span is so little right now when it comes to like these events. It's like it's just back to back that we forget. Like this week is the fires in LA, and next week who knows what's coming our way. So everything's just in our face. All right, they're calling back. I'll go ahead and patch the call through, and here we go.
This call is now being
Esta
recorded.
es Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
David Lopez.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5.
5.
Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello.
Hello?
Yep.
Yes.
So
Yep.
yes. So
Hey,
yes.
heartbreaking.
Yep.
Heartbreaking in LA, man. That I cannot believe that happened. I'm speechless. I'm a motherfucker, James, that I can talk. Everybody on this podcast knows that I can run my jibs. And I got nothing what do you say to that?
Makes you wonder where all the water was. How'd they not have water to fight that fire? Just goes to show the management of this state.
I think it's time we turn this political. I'm sorry, James. I'm in.
Hey, so you know what?
Yeah.
So I know one of the first things that came out was they were attacking the fire chief, for LA County, and then
Yeah.
and all my information I do like everybody else. I get it off of TikTok. So I saw this other video saying
I'm aware of
that. They mention how they're attacking the fire chief for LA County for something that happened in Palos Verdes, which is like a different city. She's not the one that had anything to do with that, but it's funny how they use her as an scapegoat as far as that situation in Palisades. And then I saw this other video where they're talking about that there's this they have the LA Fire Department has a boat in San Pedro, but it's specifically only for San Pedro, so it wasn't able to like maneuver over to the coast, down where Malibu's at, to possibly put out some of those homes. So you see stuff like that, and like, man, like there's so much information being put out, so it's like it seems like they're trying to find somebody to blame, as an scapegoat. So
Well, let's start with the person that decided it was a good idea to decrease the budget of the fire department in LA County. Exactly. Let's start with that person. And I'm not.
And second, who's the one that managed the water flow down to Southern California?
Yeah,
who's in charge of that?
Yeah, let's start with the people who don't make sure that the fire hydrants work.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Let's move on to the people who actually are in charge of funding for fire protection, and haven't decided that these houses were on the beach that burned down, a bunch of them, and you got an ocean right in front of you. You know what I mean? You couldn't find a way to pump water from the ocean.
There was literally a house on the shoreline.
Yeah, that
burned down.
Yeah.
There's Hilton's house.
Yeah.
You know, and I think about that, like, all right, and then there's a lot of talk, like, well, those people are all rich and they could just rebuild and they could do shit. Like, yes, it doesn't take away from the fact that, you know, a lot of those houses, though, there's still memories. Just because somebody's got money doesn't mean that they want their shit burned down.
Yeah.
There's people that feel safe in their home. They live up there for a reason, because all them stalker motherfuckers running around with camcorders, you know. But it's just, look, I feel for those people. I mean, those are people that no matter how much money they have, they got family members that probably were there. They got memories there. They have generational, you know, attachments to these places, you know. And think about the people that don't have it like that. Their house is still burnt. Shit rolls downhill.
Yep.
You know, and it's like, come on, man. It's like, how are you gonna? I just don't understand how LA can burn like that. You know, like, it's like, damn.
Yep.
How this can happen, like the droughts and global warming, and let's blame Trump. Let's just blame everybody in your damn freaking, you know.
What about Newsom was like, oh, I'm calling the president right now.
That's
what
what he needs an answer.
What does the president have to do with what's going on in your state? You're the president of your state.
Yeah, maybe you should have them freaking load up Air Force One with fire extinguishers and get them on the next thing smoking. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know how. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would love for you to get up there and get in front of the mic and, you know, say something in freaking Jarvis. You know what I mean? Freaking, that ain't going to change the fact that this is a shit that's still happening right now. Save the politics for another time. Let's get these damn fires out. Yeah. You know, they got 1,000 CDCR firefighters over there right now. 1,000.
You got 90,000 prisoners in the state of California. You can't find some way to get of the 40,000 of those prisoners
that are not
level 2 and 2 and 1 prisons. You can't find some way to get them out there to do a public service somehow, some way, get them through the fire camp training to have guys ready to put fires like this out.
They're gonna have to put some reservoirs over there in the mountain areas, and, you know, do some things, because this cannot happen again.
Yeah, it's madness. They destroyed freaking half of LA County.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And I'm hoping, you know, that some of the people with real money that experience that are good, you know, can help some people and maybe do some more charity work, and, you know, because a lot of people lost everything. And I heard that insurers are canceling policies now, and, you know, fire insurance and all that shit. It's like, all right, well, that's great news to hear.
Yeah. Well, that, you know what?
Like they did in Florida. What?
I think the fire insurances, they started canceling them sometime last year. So it's
the big fires last year.
Yeah, they were already anticipating it.
Hey, guess what? Shit burns. Let's go ahead and make sure that, you know, we don't got to pay out policies that, you know, that we signed under contract.
Yeah, that we've been people.
Let's go ahead and modify. Let's go ahead and modify the contract now that we know that you might actually need the insurance.
Yeah, like Florida did with the
hurricane.
The hurricane insurance. You know,
it just doesn't make any sense, man. And I know that, you know, if there's anybody here that's on this channel that, you know, knows how to end this tragedy, you know, that please get off the podcast and drive to LA immediately.
Yeah.
Solve this problem.
Get your super soaker, get out there and get it done.
Yeah, let's get that winner that was on here wolfing on freaking James and SMYs and freaking tell him to drive out there with a fucking fire extinguisher, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go do some shit that really matters. Take some of your freaking cholo kids with you. You know?
Take some of your homeboys out there and tell them to go put out fires. Your barrio is going to be gone in a week.
Yep. Yeah. Let's go. That shit doesn't make no sense, man. But it's what it is, man.
Let me read out some of these comments here that we got from our viewers right now. Let me see. So we got Miss Scorpio Rising. She writes, although Santa Ana winds are crazy, J.D. Morales wrote fish layer, and that is terrible. How many people are affected by the fires? Let me see. Miss Scorpio Rising wrote California is jacked up in so many levels, and Fischler Road straight up. We pay taxes, and the fire hydrants don't have enough power. And let me see here, and then we got another one from Scorpio Rising. She writes, not only are they houses are those houses gone, but their entire community of restaurants and schools and places that they frequent are gone as well.
And
the life they know.
And people are dying like this. Like, man, last time I checked this morning, it was like 14 people are dead or something. And
yeah.
We gotta get at them vatos from Santana. You know, he's like, hey, what's up with you vatos and your wings out there? Get at your homies. What about the Santana wings?
Like in the cartoons when they have the wolf on the side, flapping the thing, making a big old wing.
I know you vatos are up to it somehow. I don't know. Yeah. That's right. We got our eyes on you.
They call it the Santana winds for a reason.
Yeah, they don't call it the Anaheim winds.
Yeah. Jose Luis, sin censura.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a crazy thing, though, you know. And I feel for all those people. Hey, James, we're gonna wrap it up after this call. Or what do you got going on?
Yeah, I gotta take my wife to a date. They opened up a new gasoline station around here, and I saw a TikTok video. Supposedly has some really good food. So, the first reaction my wife gave me when I told her I was gonna take her to a gasoline station to eat, she looked at me disgusted. But I told her, hey, TikTok said it's good, so we definitely gotta check it out. So, we're gonna get out there today before they close.
That's cool.
Yep. Nah, we like to. Man, we're glad we got to spend some time with you guys. Scorpio Rising, I popped up out of nowhere. Scorpio Rising comes and goes, Jess.
Yeah, she's been here since the beginning.
Yep, comes and goes.
She comes and goes. But Chubby Jessica had been gone for a little bit too, and she tuned in, so that's a good thing.
Hey, let me know if you see like a Jose Diaz on it.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Let me know if a Jose Diaz pops up somewhere. You know what I mean? We're
For
suspicious
sure.
over Yarny also. Letting you know that right now. You know what I mean? Yarny's caught our eye. You know, I don't know what this is. You know, Jose Diaz as well. You know, I feel like there's a connection there somehow. Now, I know somebody that goes by that handle. So,
who has my shoes on?
Yeah, but anyway, we just want to say send ours to you guys, man, and just say, we really appreciate you guys being on here, man, and our thoughts and our prayers do go out to everybody in LA. You know, it's vicious out there, man. You know, and I hope that you guys are able to rebuild and get your life back on track. You know, if there's any like celebrities that ever listen to this, I got some real money, man, help them out, man. Help them out. Donate some money. Get your neighborhood back on track. Nah, but I know they are. There's some people with some good hearts out there. I've seen what's her name, Jennifer Garner.
Yeah.
She's gonna help some people. She lost a friend, you know. And I've seen her on there. I think she's gonna help some people out. What about you? I want to send a shout out to my wife too, my beautiful wife, you know, and our kids. And just know that you're in my thoughts right now.
Yep, definitely want to send mine to everybody, to all the supporters, everybody that tuned in today. You know, Marlene, Yarny, JD Morales, Chubby Jessica, of course. Thanks for being back. We definitely appreciate you being on the show. You've always been here with us, so we thank you for coming back. Fish SoCal, glad you tapped in. All the regulars, man, everybody who gives us support, we appreciate that, you know. I forgot I was going to share my speech with you guys, but we're going to have to do that another time. And I'm going to share it with you another time, James. I wanted you to see a speech, so I got to do it tomorrow or the next day, but definitely, yeah. So
I got some time tomorrow.
Everybody who's been here.
I'm off.
Well, I don't know if I'll have time tomorrow.
Just let me know.
I'll message with you. I don't have my tablet, as you know. I told you, my tablet broke, so I'm definitely fish out of water. But thank goodness I have Dave right here with his tablet, so I'm able to stay connected. But yeah, definitely. So just thank you everybody for being here. It's been cool. Sunday evening, wrap this weekend up. Back to the rat race tomorrow. We send our love always.
Yep. Hopefully the homie that came on and was asking us those questions about that stuff he's going through, in his living situation. I hope he's able to hear this or tune in later and listen to our advice,
Yep, and if he calls you, hits you up, James, message Dave because I got some legal advice for him, some steps he can take to protect himself and get the ball moving so he can get that dude out of his house sooner than later.
Okay.
So
just like you guys got our back, we got your guys' back, and we'll do the best we can to try to shed some light on, share our knowledge with you guys.
Yep, absolutely. It's just remember, man, there's always another option. Always remember, there's always another option. You know what I mean?
This isn't even the worst case scenario. This is no case scenario. Never use prison as a worst case scenario. Yep. This is beyond that. This is no life right here. You know, when we get off of this tablet right now, we're gonna be in a cage.
And
that's what it is. That's where we are now.
I want to read out some of these messages right here. We got Casey underscore. Shout out to Casey underscore. She's out in. I believe she was gonna head out to Colorado to go meet up with her pen pal. Starlight wrote.
Underscore.
Yeah. Starlight writes. Keep pushing. And we are rooting for you guys. Your day is coming. Let me see. Christina wrote. Enjoy your food. And then we also got a comment over here from. Eric Martinez writes, wish you guys the best this 2025, prayers for everyone. Scorpio Rising writes, let me see, that land is not safe to even build on. Let me see, the next rain that comes heavy is going to be a landslide probably. And let me see, and JD Morales wrote, they should have released all those assets needed. Who cares, with the line on the map that they have to cross. Yep. Anyhow, hey, I appreciate you, Jesse, and everybody that tuned in. We'll go ahead and set something up for this upcoming week. So we could go ahead and get back on the ball. I know I've been missing in action, but sometimes I need a little bit of free time to clear my mind, if that makes any sense. But like I said around here, David, what do I say? Like a candle in the wind.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. It's like a candle in the wind. That's Elton John and Forrest Gump. I just hope you guys know where I got that from. So you guys know. So go ahead.
Hey, like I said right here, life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it slides out.
Once you blow it out.
With that.
Rato.
All right. Hey, you guys go ahead and have a good one. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream. I gotta get going. But it was nice hanging out with you guys. I might be back on later on with Felipe, maybe like around 8 or 9. All right. So stay tuned. Sí, cut it. Y vámonos.